Hi there, this is Wendy from Check Room. This time I want to talk to you about user roles and permissions. When inviting team members or colleagues to your account, you can easily manage what they are allowed to do and see by assigning them a user role. User roles will save you a lot of time because you can create predefined sets of permissions and restrictions for each user role. Plus, you will be able to manage a whole group of users at once simply by customizing their user role. Let me walk you through it. You'll see that it's pretty straightforward. Once you're logged into Check Room, go to Settings and click Roles and Permissions. You'll see that there are already quite a few user roles here. These are the user roles available for all plans. We call them system roles and they cannot be modified or updated. You can, however, take a closer look at which permissions they have by clicking on them. If you are on our academic, professional or enterprise plan, you also have the option to create custom roles. Let's add one together. When you, for example, have multiple locations, you might want to have a location admin who is responsible for all equipment and bookings at a specific location. So let's create a user role for this person, starting with a name and description that makes sense. After the name and the description, we can start defining the level of access that users will have. For our Chicago office admin, we want this person to be able to manage everything with regards to items, contacts, and bookings, because he or she has to be able to view, manage, close, cancel and archive any reservation or checkout in order to manage the office they are responsible for. We also want this person to be able to look at reports concerning the Chicago office. But it isn't necessary to give this person access to the settings of the account. The last step is actually restricting this role to the Chicago office. Finish with clicking Add and we're done. Interesting to know is that you can easily clone user roles. That comes in very handy if you, for example, would like to create an admin for the 10th Street office as well. You can clone the Chicago office admin and just adjust the location this role is restricted to. So we now have all the roles we need. If, however, we ever change our mind, we can come back and update or rename these roles or create new ones. And the cool thing about updating user roles is that the changes will be applied to all users with that role. Now, let's look at how you can assign a role to a user. Go to your settings in the bottom left corner of your screen. Click Users and then click Invite Users on the top right of the screen. Type or copy-paste the email addresses for each person you would like to invite and pick a user role for this set of users. Click Invite and you're done. These people will now receive an invitation email to join the account, after which they can start creating bookings. Now, let's look at how you would modify someone's role. Because at some point, people could get a promotion, or your workflow might change, which requires some people to get more responsibility with regards to equipment, and thus more permissions in Check Room. Find the user you'd like to modify the role of. Click Actions, next click Edit. In the pop-up window, you can make the changes. Don't forget to click Update when you're done. So let's wrap up. When it comes to user roles, do remember that you cannot modify or update system roles. If you are on a plan that allows custom user roles, my best advice to you would be to take some time and come up with a name and description that's really descriptive for the role. The ability to fine-tune your permissions and user roles will save you a lot of time by managing your users. That's it. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out.